Hi there. So today we are going to be learning about string manipulation in Python. Now if you want to follow this tutorial, you will have to know the basics of Python so that you can follow it. If you don't know, there are lots of YouTube videos and websites which you can watch to learn. So assuming that you do know the basics, let's start. So in Python, strings, as you might already know, let me create a string. So strings are basically a bunch of characters, so in quotes, which is, so I can put a bunch of characters like this: numbers, alphabets, symbols, in between double quotes, and that is basically a sequence of those different characters. So Python has the UTF-8 encoding scheme, which I think has about a million characters or more. So before, and the way that the encoding scheme works is that there are many different characters, and that each character has a special value called the Unicode value. So that special code, actually, let us learn two functions, ORD and CHR. So if you have something like CHR and you input, let's say I'll put 65 here, it returns. So 65 was the ordinal value, you can say, or you can say the Unicode value, the special code given to the character A. So by typing CHR 65, we were able to return the character. So we can do CHR 66 and see what that is. CHR 67, so that's A, B, C, and so it goes on. There are other characters too before 65, so let's see. 64, that's at symbol. 64, let's try 45, that's the minus symbol. So if this is the case, and we have the Unicode encoding scheme which has a million characters, so let's try to see each of those characters. So I'm going to be using a for loop. So for I in range, let's see, let's go for 1,000 characters, and let's print CHR I value. So I is going to have values from 0 to 999, and we're going to see the character that each of those values hold, the special code. So let's see, and lots of characters are being printed, and it's done. So you can see there are so many different characters which I actually don't even have on my own keyboard, but it is stored UTF-8 encoding scheme which Python supports. So, and although it's not there on my keyboard, I can still copy it and then try to use it. So I copied it and I can use it now, as you can see there. Now there's another function which does the exact opposite of this. So that's called the odd function, and what it does, it, you input any character, a single character, you don't put A, B or something like that, a single character only, and what you get is the ordinal value. Let's try small a, that's 97, and in fact if you see, what's 97 minus 65? 32. So the small a is 32 numbers away, right? So let's see, for ordinal B, that's 66, and ordinal small b, let's try that, and that's 98. Now if we do the same thing again, 98 minus 66, that's 32 spaces once again. So the capital alphabet and the small alphabet are always 32 spaces away, even for say Z, B, C, D, E, for all the alphabets. And so the usefulness of this is actually that when you have your caps lock off and you type A, so the 97 is sent to the computer, and so A gets printed as such. But when you have caps lock on, what happens is 97 minus 32 is sent, which is 65. So the 32 gets subtracted before it's sent to the computer, which is very useful, so that we can actually use caps lock. So that's there. So though that is chr and odd, hopefully you found it interesting. Now let's go back to the strings. So let me make a simple string. N is equal to a b c d. Now because ABCD is a sequence of characters, it's a sequence, so you can traverse through it using a for loop, just like how we done in other things like lists, if you remember. So let's do for I in the string n, print, let's see, print I, and just see what happens. So it prints ABCD. So what happened is it iterated through the whole sequence of the string. First it went through A and I became A, and we printed A. Then it went through B, printed B, and printed C, printed D, and so on. Now if a string is a sequence and we are able to traverse through it, surely it must be having indexes, and actually that is true. So let's actually see if we use the square brackets, which is normally used to go through the index of a sequence, and let's put a 0 into it. We're going to get A. So that is the location of the element A inside our string. So let's see what about B. That's N1, N2, that's C, N3, that's D, N4, that's nothing because that does not exist in our string index out of range. As you can see, the error clearly says what's wrong. So now we know how to traverse a string and how to look at its indexes. Now apart from these indexes of 0, 1, 2, 3, there was another way we could have gone through the index of our ABCD string. Instead of doing 0, 1, 2, 3, you could have gone backwards, which is -1. So that's backwards, that starts from the last, so that's D. Then we can go to the second last by doing -2, that goes to C, third last, and then finally the fourth last, or you could say the first one, which is -4. Now using strings we can actually do few interesting operations. Let us talk about two interesting operations. So let's take another string, x is equal to ABCD 1 2 3 4. Okay, and let's do x, let's add x plus, so that's a string I'm adding, and I'm going to add some other string ABCD. So that is actually allowed, valid, and that actually adds on an ABCD in the end. So we could have done many interesting things like an apple a day plus keeps a doctor away. So these are two strings which I'm adding, and that joins it perfectly. So addition between strings is allowed. Now something like this is not allowed. Let's say you have a string called 12 and you add 5 to it. Now that doesn't work because they are not of the same type. And the thing is this, when we add strings we call this concatenation, and you can check the dictionary for the meaning. But basically we are just combining two strings. Now you're not limited to just combining two strings. You could do something like this plus something like this, and then you could have a third string, you could have a fourth string, you could have as many strings and you can add them, which gives you the answer. Now apart from the plus operator we can also use the multiplication, the into operator. Now let's try something. Let's do ABCD times, now what do you think would we do? Would we put a string? Actually let's put a number. So ABCD into 3, and that multiplies, that replicates. So what we got is a string which has the same ABCD replicated 3 times. So you can see ABCD 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 3 times have come. let's do another one. Let's do abcd times 10. You can see it does the same thing, but now it's replicated 10 times. Now if you do abcd times, let's say 5, that won't work because multiplication requires that you multiply the string with a number, because obviously because it works on replication, so you can only replicate a natural number times, if that makes sense, not a string times. So these are the two operators. There are many other operators though, which we will talk about later. So before we wind up, I'd like to give you a simple program which I think you will easily figure out how to do. So the program is, you have to make this pattern. Let me just show it to you. Hash no hash 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 hash, and yeah, so that is the pattern which you have to do. And you have to make it such that the user can decide how many hashes to put in the last. So that is an extra bonus which you can do. So I think you already know how to do this, but the twist is you're not allowed to use a nested loop. You can use loops but not a nested loop in this case. And the hint is that you can use strings to do it, so try that out.